Hello, blessed souls, and welcome to day 8 of our spiritual Samhain reset. Today's theme is Haven of Peace. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Close your eyes right now. Come on, close your eyes. And if you're somewhere that you can't because you're driving, then do a driving meditation or pull over to the side of the road or pause it and wait till later, because this part is important. So please humor me and close your eyes. Get in close and listen. What is the haven of peace for you? What is your haven of peace? What does your haven of peace look like? When you think of a beautiful, peaceful home, your sanctuary, your blessed sanctuary, what do you think of? What sounds good? Is it a nice cozy fire? Is it a comfy pair of socks on a cold winter's night? Is your haven of peace your family gathered around the hearth, making delicious homemade food together, nourishing your bodies and your minds and your souls? What does your haven of peace look like? Are you an athlete? Do you love beach volleyball? Could you play beach volleyball all day? Could you live in a sunny, beachy, tropical climate all year round? Does that sound like heaven to you? Is that your haven of peace? It's going to be different for all of us, but you see where we're going with this. Your haven of peace is important. Wherever you are right now and your peace is being disrupted, it's because you're in the dark night of the soul. We are all different stories, different paths, different purposes here on earth. We are all superheroes. In our own story, we are the lead, as we should be. And if we're not the lead in our story and we're playing, the second lead, the extra for the day, that doesn't seem like a nice haven of peace. Now, that doesn't mean that you let your ego run rampant and the whole world revolves around you. No, it means you find another soul. If you don't want to live alone, if you want to live alone, you will create your haven of peace. But if you want people around you, your haven of peace must be agreeable with those of you in the same place that you're dwelling. Because a haven of peace is not one of discord, is not one of frustration, anger, resentment, old wounds, old patterns, old traumas, playing over and over again like a record on repeat. Spirit wants you to scratch across the record if you must. But my mom always says you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. That is so true. So how can you get to your haven of peace? How can you arrive at your haven of peace in a loving, calm, and peaceful way? My partner and I, over the many moons that we have been together, have separated for long periods of time and gotten back together. Went through more, broke up, got back together. in the cycle. But Each time we went through this cycle, we revisited old wounds. We worked through them. We're doing that now. This has been, I'll tell you right now, it was hard for me to do this one today. I was so excited. In real time, it's October 29th, 2022. It was the last day of the farmer's market where I live. I was so excited. I kind of got dressed up, and long story short, I had wonderful experiences and not so wonderful experiences, and mostly because the energy was off. It was all over the place. It was so bizarre. I felt like I was in, like, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm like scratching my head as I'm telling you. It was so hard. It was so bad that when we started getting ready to go, Alder was just not himself, and then I was like, oh, that's okay, because I know he's brewing today, and, he's working on his plant medicine today. And so I was just like, okay, so he's doing his stuff. He just wants to get in and get out. I get it. But it was more than that. Then we get there, and I'm like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I just don't feel like being around people right now. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, why don't I just go in? And I thought I can handle it, but I realized how much Alder holds space for me. And he is like my protector, like he's my energy field. I know that Michael has me, and like all my other people, like I was fine. I had a good time, but also I could just feel all the draining energies of people and just the way people were looking at me. It was just it was just interesting. And then we had to go to the grocery store, and Saturday, it's the last Saturday of October. It's Halloween. People are at parties. We were invited to a party tonight. At first I was really excited because I was like, oh my gosh, we should go. I'm like, we'll get dressed up. It'll be fun. And then he's just like, we don't really like being around people, and we don't like being around people who drink. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And he's like, wow, when I used to drink, I would be jumping at that party. I go, dude, when I used to drink, I go, we'd be like going home right now and like getting ready and getting our outfits together. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I was like, absolutely. I totally understand. And I realized, I'm like, yeah, I don't have the bandwidth. I keep rubbing my head. I don't have the bandwidth. I just don't have the bandwidth. And when I got to the grocery store, it was even worse. It was like by the time we got home, I felt like somebody kicked the shit out of me. And then I had all these chores I had to do at the house, and I just was like, oh, and then put all the food away, and it was just everything. And I'm sorry to bring in my energy, but I don't know if you're feeling this too, but I just couldn't pull it together. I was up, I was down, I was here, I was there, I was working through so many different things. And I was like, oh, Spirit, I just don't know. And Bellyache came on from Billie Eilish, and oh, it's just the words. They actually had me write down the words. 757 is our first angel number, and an airplane. But just if you know Bellyache, you know what I'm talking about. But it's like, that's how I was. I was like, I thought that I'd feel better, but now I have a bellyache, Not that I want to, go rob somebody or fuck somebody over. I don't know what the song, I guess there's many interpretations of that song. Anyway, drink some water if you have some. But the long and short of it is, this is a very draining energy that we are in right now. It's very draining. Not everyone has just bounced back from the lockdown. Many people wish that we were still locked down. I know in some capacities it's like it's a catch-22, because I love that I don't have to wear a mask or do that kind of stuff anymore. That's awesome. But on the look at that, Spirit. I love you, fairy. But on the other side of that, I realized how much I do not like being around people. I love people when they're on my same wavelength. But when I go into situations and get around people who are really ungrounded and really unglued and really untethered, but they think they got their shit together and they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, it's like I feel all that energy. I feel it. And even though, like, my boundaries are up, it's like they are so powerful that it's palpable. So if your home life doesn't feel good, that's not good. Like, I may be miserable in my home life in some situations right now, but like my home life, like my partner and my familiar, there's still so much love there. You know what I mean? Like, I know that we're working through stuff. and that this home situation is temporary. I do know that. In fact, if we wanted to, we could go live up there right now and just like let them, come and work on it. And I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to be in the house while they're doing the remodeling. I'm like, that is not going to work for me at all. I'm like, I am a sensitive, I'm an empath. That's not going to work for me, and I could feel the pressure because now, our landlord got sick. He's like, I think I caught what the kids had. I'm like, of course, you know what I mean? And sometimes we make ourselves sick. He's always like, oh, I never get sick and I'm so strong and blah, blah, blah. But now they're sick. And I'm not saying they're not sick, but they're probably tired and they're doing stuff. And it's like, this is why. And these are all choices that everybody has made. And I have just been sitting here, and please excuse my ego for a minute, but it's been really hard to watch this whole entire thing unfold. And it is also to teach me not only patience, but love, unconditional love, no judgment. Like, everybody's going through what they're going through. I signed on for this. I could have walked away many times, but I signed on for this. So now I'm realizing, okay, how can we, what can we do? Blah, blah, blah. Because everybody is going through some form of the dark night of the soul. Not every single person on the planet, but a majority of people in our tribe are going through something really tough right now, in one capacity or another. Some type of struggle, some type of, and most of the time when you're struggling like that, it is because you are disconnected from your spirit, which is why you were brought to do this 10-day challenge. Whether you do them all, whether you do them in order or not, that's up to you. This was something I needed to do for myself. I needed to look at everything and myself the first and foremost, because I was just like, why am I so angry? What is going on? And then being out there today, I felt like no matter how much I was trying to like flip my fairy or be funny or whatever, it was just like people weren't getting me. Even people that normally get me were like, not, I was like, oh, dude, we're not on the same page. I'm like, I didn't mean it like that. And it came off, and I found them defending themselves. And I was like, no, no, no. I'm like, oh no. I was like, I must go. I'm like, abort, abort, abort. And the truth is, I felt like last Saturday was like, should be the last day. But nope, I had to push it. I had to push it because I wanted to see what the last day would be, what it would be like. And it was fun. Like, you can see, like, people were really into it. They knew it was the last day, but the energy was also like, it was just palpable. And the grocery store was like busy, 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 like, moms and kids like rushing through, like, I got a party to get to, or some costume, you know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck did I just do to myself? Like, it's like I literally like set myself up. And we are in the waxing crescent energy right now. We are in the waxing crescent energy. We are in phase 2 of setting intentions, but they're not having me do an official waxing crescent energy. Oh, wait, what'd you just say? Hold the phone. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a second. I thought for a minute they were going to bring in one of the moon readings with our 10-day. I thought that might slide in, but they said, no, what we're going to do is, and I've done this before, is sometimes spirit will have me pair 2 moon phases together. And this is a popular one, which is the waxing crescent. I'm going to go up a bit. So we're in the waxing crescent setting intentions phase right here. Sorry, that's my finger. I was playing with flowers. I have dirt in my fingers. That's sorry. And then the first quarter moon, which is taking action. So basically it's this one and this one. I was pointing in the wrong place. So I'm going to be doing a pick a reading with the medicine cards, the spirit animal medicine cards. I'm going to be doing a pick a reading for that, those 2 together. And then I'm going to continue this 10-day spiritual reset, Samhain spiritual reset, until Samhain, and then on the first quarter moon, which is the day after, because technically Samhain is like October 31st to the 1st. It's like that's when the veil is the thinnest. So I don't know what they're going to have me do or what's going to happen. I really wanted to go live, but I don't think I'm going to get the reception down here that I wanted to, and it just tends to be more frustrating. I'd rather give you guys like what you deserve. Maybe next year we'll do that wherever we are. Anyway, with all that being said, they wanted to pull more living by the moon mantras for today, which is day 8, and to let you know that you're not alone. And this dark night of the soul is no joke. And you will have days where you will feel dark and sinister, and you will want to like punch somebody, and you will want to, maybe jump off a building and all those things. Spirit's saying, please don't do those things. Instead, take a breather, take a minute, take a breath, and breathe. And they never told me to have you to open your eyes. So if you had your eyes closed that whole time, that's great. If you didn't, whatever, it doesn't matter. But this is just the information that we need right now. We're all going through different things, and the moon phases really help us to go through the dark night of the soul, especially because when you look up at the, Anna blessed me with this beautiful notebook, and it's got the different moon phases there. But when you look up there, even though it's equal parts the light and the dark in the shadowing of, so you can see the moons, it's still, to me, I see dark. I see dark more than I see light. I don't know about you, but I see dark more than I see light. So, I feel like maybe, and that's kind of a test. Did you see more light or did you see more dark when you looked at this? Ooh, oh my gosh. I feel like we're playing checkers or white. You know what I'm talking about? The checker game. Yeah, checkers. Isn't it? Isn't that right? But like what's the upside down checkers? Oh gosh, somebody tell me. You know what I'm talking about, where it's like this way and you drop them in like this and it's a game where you play against people? Is that what it's called? Oh my gosh. I'm so old right now. I feel so old. I'm not old. Anyway, that's what this feels like to me. Like nobody's winning, nobody's losing. So when you looked at this, just ask yourself, when you looked at it, do you remember, did you recall, or even when I said that, did you see more light or did you see more dark? Because I do kind of feel like this is where we all are. We're all in different, all in different levels of shadow and all in different levels of light. And it's almost like a kaleidoscope of energy. And some days are going to be darker and some days are going to be lighter, hence the lavender wanting to come in today, and the rosemary, because rosemary is really good for protection and lavender is really good for calming our energies. But when we flow with the moon phases and through the moon cycles, we really, when we align ourselves with the energy of the moon, we really start to understand exactly like how to navigate through the light and the shadow, right? And if you're just all in the dark night of the soul, it's like you're not allowing yourself to really breathe, if that makes any sense. Okay, Spirit, do we have a mantra? Do we have a mantra for day 8? What's our mantra today? What's our mantra to help us gain our haven of peace? What do we need to do to get to that haven of peace? What do you have any mantras or any words of wisdom? Any pictures, imagery? Okay. Ooh, this one. I said that and this imagery came to me right away. I saw it. Interesting. Now, I've said this before. What do you see when you look at this? If you found yourself here, you're a powerful light worker. Yes, we will feed you as much information as I'm downloading, but at the same time, this is your path. So your messages are all unique and individual to your story. So whatever you see in this photograph, like, what does it mean for you? I'll even put it this way. For me, when I look at it, it was interesting because I was just like, right when we put it sideways, I saw the sunshine, like channeling the power of the sun to send the energy out. You know what I mean? Like we're sending it this way, we're sending it this way. It's like we're going back and forth and sending the energy to all the people around us. Okay, so our mantra is, I let go of what is no longer serving me and I am open to what is. Oh, wow. Wow. That's beautiful, you guys. Whoop. I'm going to put this back here and then I'm going to zoom in. So if you guys want to take a screenshot. Okay. I let go of what is no longer serving me and I am open to what is. All right, say this with me. Don't be afraid. Just say it out loud. Or if you're somewhere where you just don't feel comfortable, that's okay. I'm not going to force you. Say it in your head, okay? I let go of what is no longer serving me, and I am open to what is. Until tomorrow, when you're having a rough time or something isn't going your way, because trust me, I mean, seriously, you guys, I did like a little mini video earlier. I don't know when they're going to have me post it, but I did a video when we were on our way into town because it was just like we found out that the heater up there doesn't work. I told Alder, I said, I want you to go through and make sure everything works. I'm like, plug in the washer and dryer, plug it. I'm like, I am not moving in there until it's a fully functioning house. I'm not going to like wait for this or wait. I'm like, no. I was like, no, this has to be done right before we move in there. At least certain basics, you know. And so the heater didn't work. And our landlord just like, you know, showed up with like the heater that we had when we were in Big Camper, and we hated it. It was a pain in the ass. It fell over all the time. It was dangerous. Um, anyway, he brought that and he's like, well, you can just use this. And I'm like, if we wanted to use a shitty propane heater, I mean, no offense to him, but like, I know it's a shitty one. It's not that he bought it. It's a very nice, expensive one. He probably tried to get like the nicest one, but we just know from living with it, it's like you barely walk by it and it knocks over. It's like, it's just dangerous. Anyway, plus it just, it's just annoying. You have to change the bottle like every day. I'm like, I don't want to have to fucking do that, dude. I'm like, we already have a wood stove where, you know what I mean, which we're excited about. And Alder, oh my gosh, you guys, Alder's so hot. Can I just like be a girl for a second? And I don't know if this is being a girl. I don't mean to be sexist or however that came out. But for me, I'm being kind of giddy. So I think of it as girly. And P.S., I've been a man in other lives too. Trust me. So when I say girly, it is me being girly. But yesterday, when I did our day 7 episode, remember when I said to you guys to go outside and take your shoes and socks off and put your feet on the ground? I went outside to do that, but what I actually ended up seeing was up on the hill. I saw the trees moving, and I'm like, what is that? And I saw Alder like take down a tree. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like the hottest, sexiest thing to me. Now, mind you, it's a dead tree. It's not like, you know, a beautiful, viable tree. It was a dead tree. We're going to be using it for firewood. And he's like, oh yeah, I cut a cord today, which is like a big, nice thing of wood. And, and I was just like, that is like so hot right now. Like, you are so hot right now. But anyway, I digress. So it's like, yes, do I want to? Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. He's like, I'll just keep cutting wood. There's a lot of dead trees on the property. He's like, we can just have that going all the time, you know? And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true, you know? But I was really pissed about it. I was pissed. I was pissed. I was like, dude, I'm like, I'm like, this place is like the fucking money pit. And I'm like, maybe I got to stop saying that, you know? And I'm like, we love you, house. We love you, house. I'm like trying to send it love. And then I'm like, okay. I'm like, every time something like that happens, I'm like, lemonade, lemonade, lemonade. I'm like, well, that's good. I'm like, at least we can move it around from room to room, you know, like if we don't feel like stoking the fire. I'm like trying to like make it better. Except for that heater was right by the bathroom. And that's why we liked it, is because it was right like on the wall adjoining the bathroom. So it would keep the bathroom nice and warm because the bathroom is far away from the wood stove. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to think positive, think positive. I don't want to walk by that and knock it over every day, but I'm just going to think positive. So we made peace with that, and we go to leave, and our gate has 2 sides to it that like open from, you know, on either side of, you know, the driveway. And one of the gates are down, which obviously Alder didn't do that because Alder would put it back up. So either our landlord did it or his person who helps him did it. And they just left it down. They just left it there. I'm just like, oh my God. I was just like, I can't. I was like, Spirit, I can't. Like, I'm like, I need my fucking life back. Like, I need my house back. I need my life back. I can't. I'm like, I feel like a crazy person. You know, however, I know I'm strong enough to get through this. And what I need to let go of is control. And it's hard to do. So if you guys are fighting for control with yourself and what's going on with you, let it go. If you're trying to force a relationship or force a situation into what you want it to be, let it go. Because, you know, the positive side of that was I would rather have a fire going. I would rather have a fire going. I don't know if I would actually like a wall propane heater. I'm like, maybe we're just not supposed to have it, you know? I mean, but I'm fighting it because I want what I want. And it was just like a joke to me. Out of all of the portable heaters that are out there, there are so many different kinds. And there's actually this one that we like that we've been looking at that we were going to get for in here. And I just think it's really funny that the one that he got was the one that we're like, oh, you know what I mean? So it's like, you do feel like you're being fucked with. I'm like, is this part of my shadow? Is this the dark night of the soul? I'm like, is there a camera on me? I mean, you just start to feel, is that you guys too? Is it just me? Because I was like, I just feel like I'm fucking going crazy. I feel like I'm in crazy town. And then I just heard, no, you just have to speak up and tell them what you want and, see what's going on and, wait, they're like, wait, just wait a little bit longer. So we're just going to wait a little bit longer. I don't know what's going to happen, but I too need to be open. I mean, look at out of all the words there, open is the one that's in capital letters. Open to what is. So there's obviously something that, we're a part of or that we signed on for, or you know what I mean? So it's like the same for you. It's like, what's going on with you? Okay. Do we have any more words, any more mantras, anything you want to say right now, Spirit? Any messages for the collective? Okay. I got 2 more. We've had this one before. Two halves of one whole. Maybe that's what you feel like. I have to tell you guys, I heard a lot of songs before this started. And when I asked Spirit what our theme was, the Carpenters came on. And it was, oh gosh, what song? It wasn't Superstar. If it's meant to come to me, it will. But all these different songs came on, and I realized, that's what I started to realize, was that our tribe we're all in different places right now. And it's hard almost to connect with anything or anyone. That's why they wanted us to stick together through this and let each other know, like, we're not alone. We're all going through something right now. I am the creator of my future. Remember that. Remember what at the beginning when Spirit channeled all that through me? That's what they're trying to say. Our haven of peace is what we make it. We are the creator of our future. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't even care. I'm like, just get out of my house. I mean, of course I want them to finish it. You know what I mean? I'm not a professional. However, I know that once it's done and we are in there, at least to a certain point, I'll be able to breathe. I'll be able to clean it and make it what I want and unpack my stuff. And you know what I mean? Put the rugs on the floor, wash the pillows and put them on the couch. And when I'm in my house, I know that I will look around and be like, look at what I created. Look at what I made for myself. But for now, I'm still in some type of shadow. And so is my partner. And so, I mean, Baba's fine. No matter, you know what I mean? Like, she gets to be outside. Right now she's stoned. She's taking a nap. You know what I mean? She's on her catnip. She's got a great life. And we do too, in a lot of ways we do. The only thing that's been really tough for us is the repetition of the things that I have to do every day. Living in a tiny home like this and living off grid, it's so much harder than people realize, especially in the winter. It's not for everybody. I know so many people that would have never made it this far, never made it this long. I'm sure there's a lot of people in my, you know what I mean? Like, if my friends or family ever, I highly doubt they do, but if they do come to my channel, I'm sure they're probably like, wow, I'm sure they watch out of sheer fucking entertainment to see how long it's going to take for me. I'm sure they're waiting for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know for sure, but there's definitely a few of them that I feel the vibe that they are fucking waiting for me to give up. They're waiting for me to fail. And I'm like, nope, I did not fucking get this far to get this far. And I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to hang in there because I am the creator of my future. And I know that something else is coming. So our last one is this, and I like how we have the sun and the moon. And it's interesting how the way the hands were before. I want to bring this one forward because I think it's interesting, the placement of the hands. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how sorry. I'm looking at the cards and not the camera. Do you see how in this one, the wrist is more like really prominent? like it's pushing. And this one is like, see how they're like flowing together, and it's like, hey, they're like giving it like very gently. Their wrist is soft. And this one here is, it's bent, but only because of like the trajectory of it. We're like, these are like bent, like they are like they're trying to force it together. But it's like, it's almost like they're trying to force them together, but how can they really do that when it's like the moon's here and the sun's here? Even if you go this way and you try and force them together, you're going to push them this way, but like not together like this. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? I hope you're seeing what I'm trying to say. So I'm feeling like some of you are trying to force your relationship, your job, whatever it is. I just feel like something is like feeling very, 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 very forced. And Spirit's saying you want to do it gently. You want to create your future gently. Look at this. I am at peace with my past. Yeah, that's what this feels like. This feels like something forced that needs to be let go so that it can be easygoing, you know? So I'm at peace with my past and I am the creator of my future. Wow. That's really profound, you guys. I'm the creator. I'm at peace with my past and I'm the creator of my future. Trying to move this over a little bit for you. Can you be at peace with your past? 3139. Can you release and let go? They're asking all of us this question, by the way. I'm having so many epiphanies during this eclipse season, you guys. And, you know, Samhain's just a few days away, and then a week from that is the full moon, the full lunar eclipse. We just had a partial solar eclipse on the new moon in Scorpio, but the full moon in Taurus is going to be a full lunar eclipse. There's a lot going to be going on that week. So, you know, I think the setting intentions and the taking action, I feel like that pickle reading that we're going to be doing, I have a feeling it's going to be giving us a lot of good pearls of wisdom to help us get through that next week or that next month or the rest of Scorpio season. I don't know. Did you see that fairy come in? Anyway, I just want you to know you're not alone. They just want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. It's the same for myself. You know, and sometimes we have to teach people. You know, like literally my landlord has said, like, I've never been a landlord before, you know. I don't think they're a malicious person. I think they're doing the best they can with what they have. But I'm also like, hey, listen, you know, it gets to a certain point where it's like, hey, come on, you know. And I hope it doesn't get to that. I'm kind of waiting. I'm giving it another few weeks. But if it's like, if we're not in there by mid-November. So I don't want to think about that. Because that's not being at peace with my past, right? That's me already. And look at, I'm the creator of my future. So if I say that, see, I'm giving, thank you, Spirit. I'm actually, in this very moment, understanding what Spirit is saying to me and to all of us. We have to let go what is no longer serving us. Ooh, 3344 when I looked down. I swear to God, it was like it froze in time. 3344. Which is also the number 14, which is also the number 5. And 5 is all about change and transformation. So we are in the waxing crescent energy. I'm not going to act like we're not. And, you know, Spirit had me bring this in for a reason. But it's more for us to really get serious about this. I mean, our title is Haven of Peace. And our last card is I'm at peace with my past. And they had me put that card there. It was the last card, but it's in the back. You know what I mean? Because it's in the past. We need to make peace with the past. We need to just be where we are right now. I let go of what is no longer serving me, and I am open to what is. Because I'm at peace with the past, and I am the creator of my future. It's some heavy shit we're going through, but I'm really proud of us. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of all of us. You know, we have a bigger mission here. than most. It's not ego. That's soul knowledge. So we have to take really good care of ourselves. If you feel more comfortable shopping online, shop online. If you don't want to be around people and you need to, like, I'm excited. I want it to get done because I was like, I'd rather it get done and be like, don't talk to us for like a month. You know what I mean? Like, no shit. Like, I'm not fucking joking. Like, where I'm going to be like, I'm cutting off the world for like a month, where I can just, I've done this before. And if we're called to do it again, I am absolutely shutting down for the month of January. I did it a few years ago. It was life-changing. I work for myself, so I had the luxury to, save up for it. Well, actually, Alder was still working, but I took the month off. And I got so much done. I like was off the internet, everything. It was crazy. So, if you can do that, the more you can, the better right now. All right, you guys, 35:57. Until tomorrow, only 2 more days till Samhain. The veil is getting thinner. I love you so much. Spirit loves you. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, blessed be. Ow.